Are you thinking about moving to Bend or somewhere else in Central Oregon over the next 6 to 12 months and you want to keep your finger on the pulse of the real estate market here locally? Well, look no further than today's market update video. This is going to be the December of 2023 real estate market update video as it relates to Bend and surrounding Central Oregon real estate. So if this video sounds like it's for you, stick around. We're going to be getting after this review of the current state of the market right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad, the current state of the market here in Bend and surrounding Central Oregon, then subscribe to the channel and tap that notification bell below so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Bend and surrounding Central Oregon. My name's Ryan and I've lived in Bend for over 30 years. My business partner, Zach, and I, we get calls and texts every day from people just like you looking for help on making their smooth move to Bend or anywhere else here in sunny Central Oregon. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, it doesn't matter to us. Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, set up a Zoom meeting with the Calendly link that we have in the homepage of our channel here, and we can be off to the races with a sit down and get you guys up to speed as to where things are at in the current state of the market to help you guys hit the ground running upon arrival when it's time for you to make that move. So with that being said, let's get after this tour of the current state of the market in Bend and surrounding Central Oregon right now. I'm going to hop over to the Beacon report, and that's our trusty dusty report that comes out every single month. This is public information. You guys are able to actually access this just by going to a Google search bar and just typing in Beacon Report Central Oregon or Beacon Report Bend, Oregon, and this thing will pop right up. But this is very telling. You can see here it's dated on December 6th, and so this is the most up-to-date current status of the market as we relate back going 36 months. And you can see here that our current median home price in the Bend area right now is $730,000. And so we ended up getting a slight dip over the last 30 days or so, but still the market's been very consistent over the last 6 months. And the typical price point or the median price point for a home in our area has been in the mid sevens basically for the last 6 months. I know that rates have been going up. We all know that. And so that's why a lot of people are on the sidelines right now. They're waiting. There's a lot of pent up demand for people wanting to make a move, but they're being patient because they're locked into those great interest rates with their current home that they have. Maybe they're sub 4, maybe they're sub 3, but right now with where they're at 7 or 8%, that cuts your buying power in half. So why would you actually make that move unless you absolutely have to? But the point is right now, we still have a lot of activity in the market, but it is slowing down a little bit. We're going to show you some data here on that in just a second. But we just want to give you guys a basic understanding of where things are at currently in the market. And you can see going back to dating all the way back to November of 2020, we've had a steady incline. And of course, just about every real estate market in America had a steep incline during that certain pandemic that was going on in the mid 2028 year and all the way into the late 2021 year. And so what we see here is Bend has been holding stable with their current prices. Median home values were all the way up to 800,000. That's our all-time high. That goes back to July of this year. And then we've kind of trickled down a little bit. This is the seasonality of the way the real estate market goes. This is the time of year where things kind of slow down. It's the holidays. So unless you're already in the market with a home that's listed, or you're already in the market looking and searching for a home because you have to make that move, a lot of people will just end up waiting until the new year and maybe into the early spring or late winter before they actually take action with their real estate needs. But with that being said, there still is plenty of activity. But like I said, it has slowed down a little bit. We can see here our monthly sales report for the month of December. This dates back to November, of course, but we had 114 sales. And so that's still trickling down. We had a peak at 172 sales going back to June of this year. And then our all-time high coincided the next month at $800,000 for a median home price. And then we've kind of stabilized, and now we've been trending down a little bit. Those interest rates that have come up has certainly slowed the market. And you can see here that this is definitely the indication for Bend. We're sitting at 114 sales for the month of November. And to go back, when that happened most previously would have been February of 2023. And then before that, we had a very slow month or 2 month slate of December and January of 2022, where we were under 100 sales. And you can see here that that is very unusual for the Bend market, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And that's what is trying to be the reality of where we're at in the current state of the market from a macro landscape. But if we continue moving down here, we see our median home or median days on market has certainly spiked up, and this is by design. It's interest rates are supposed to slow things down, and Ben didn't necessarily see that. We saw a decrease in sales, but the home values remained where they were at, frankly high, and all-time highs in the last 6 months. And so we've been over $700,000. We've been stable at about $750 for about 6 months now. But you can see finally we had a huge increase in our median days on market, going up to 31. We were just sub 20 for the last 6 months, dating back to even early 2023. But now we've kind of shot up here. Things have slowed down, and I think the market is starting to catch up to where it really should be, at least for the short term. We'll see what interest rates do over the next 6 to 12 months. We're going into an election year. That's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the macro landscape with real estate and interest rates and whatnot. Are we going to see a spike? Are we going to see are we going to finally see that first dip where it's actually noticeable? Are we going to see a frenzy of people entering the market if we go from, say, high sevens down to maybe the high sixes or low sixes, or even maybe high fives? I mean, that could be something that happens over the next 6 to 12 months. We will just have to wait and see with regard to what happens in the real estate market. Nobody here has a crystal ball, but we just got to take what we can get, and we have to basically just assess the market based off of what is happening from a macro landscape. So if we continue looking on here, we see some other data here that may be a little bit less interesting, but maybe it is interesting to you. But we have conventional versus cash transactions. We've got our month supply or inventory here still remains stable at 2 months. Are we going to see a spike in inventory? Well, our median days on market has gone up to 31. So that is indicative of the fact that there could be a spike in inventory as homes remain on the market for longer periods of time. And a more healthy state of inventory would be anywhere from 3 to 6 months worth of homes that are currently listed on the market. We've been under 3 to 6 for a significant period of time. But you can see here back during that buying frenzy of 20 and 21, our inventory was less than a month, 2 weeks of inventory for a long time. And even then we peaked out at, say, 1 month, and we went right back into that buying frenzy as we entered the spring of 2022. So pretty interesting, but we've been stable over here at 2 months now for about 4 or 5, maybe 6 months. And it'll be interesting to see what happens next month now that our median days on market has gone up and we are in that slow period of time with the holidays. What's going to happen with inventories? Are going to be much more to select from? Is that going to force prices down? We will just have to wait and see how it all unfolds. If we continue moving down, we see the median sales price per square foot is $363. You can just kind of scale back here 36 months to give you guys an understanding of where the average price per square foot is for Bend homes. And then we'll scroll down and we'll get into the Redmond area to do a quick update on that. And our median home price in Redmond actually took a small dip, and we went down sub $500,000. We were flirting with our all-time high there 2 months ago at 520, because you can see here $542,000 is Redmond's all-time high for median home price in a single month. But we're back down. We took a little dip there to 499, still relatively high compared to the last 36 months. And so that's a stable market value for a home in Redmond. That seems fairly typical right now. We've got some clients that are in the Redmond area right now. They're looking constantly, and so we got a pretty firm grasp on the current and the Redmond market as it relates to the current median price of $499,000. Number of sales. Okay, this is very consistent with Bend. We had our peak in June, 74 for Redmond, and we've gone steadily down 36. Okay, this is the lowest we've had in terms of sales in a single month in Redmond since December and January of 2022 and early 2023. So it's been about a year since we've been this slow. And that's all by design, like we've talked about, based off of the Fed, based off of interest rates, trying to slow the market down, trying to make it less appealing to go buy homes. There's always going to be people that are in the market, whether they have to sell or they need to buy. But generally speaking, those that can wait are choosing to wait, and that's for good reason. Like we talked about earlier in the video, people are locked in with those golden handcuffs on. They've got great interest rates right now. If you're already in Central Oregon, fantastic. Why would you feel the the need to make a change right now when you can wait. If you need to make a purchase or make a change, yes, we can help you with that. There's plenty of people that can do that, but the reality is why not just wait? You can always refi if you have to buy now, or you need to buy now or need to sell. But ultimately it's like, man, let's just see what happens. You're in a good spot with your current rate, maybe at 4% or below 4%. So enjoy that. We may not see that again, who knows? But if we continue looking here, median days on market for Redmond homes actually went down. So what's going on with this market? It's just so confusing, right? Mixed signals galore, but we can see here that median days on market for Redmond homes last month was 23, whereas it peaked up at 34 the month before that. And so a lot of activity in Redmond right now as it relates to maybe homes coming on the market that are appropriately priced. We always say homes will sell in the Central Oregon area no matter what the interest rates are if they are appropriately priced, because from a macro landscape and from a long-term vantage point, Central Oregon is going to be a very desirable place to live, and it's going to be in high demand for the long and foreseeable future. So there's no reason not to get into a home if it is appropriately priced today, because like we said earlier, we can always refi out of a current high interest rate as they come down. That's a choice that people make, and that's a choice that's specific to each individual that's making a purchase. So every situation is different. And if we continue looking on down here, we're going to see cash versus conventional, fairly consistent. You know, you can see here that conventional is going to be a little bit more so than cash transactions, but they're fairly consistent. The lines typically follow each other. And if we continue scrolling down here, building permits 21, kind of tapered down a little bit. Again, it's the seasonality aspect of everything that's going on in the Central Oregon area. And that holds true for just about every real estate market. Okay, we get into Thanksgiving, we get into December and Christmas, there's a lot going on. And some people, if they're not in the market already, they may just choose to hold out and wait until the new year. Inventory is at 3 months as opposed to Bend being in 2 months of inventory. So a little bit more of a selection in Redmond, although the median days on market has tapered down a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how those two pieces of data correlate over the next couple of months. Median price per square foot is going to be $295, and that should give us some perspective on the current state of the market of Bend and Redmond, the two largest real estate markets in the Central Oregon area. Remember, we're a county of about 220,000 people. Our Central Oregon area is comprised of 3 different counties: Deschutes County, Jefferson County, and Crook County. All together collectively, there's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 300,000 people with all 3 of those counties combined, maybe a little bit below that. Crook and Jefferson County have significantly less population than Deschutes County, but they are included in the Central Oregon area. And so this is some very telling data for anybody that likes numbers here. This should be interesting to give you guys perspective on what's happened over the last 3 years. This is actually focusing on Q3 of the last 3 years. And you can see here that in 2021, Bend was going nuts, as was Redmond. We had 1,074 sales of single family homes in the Bend area in Q3 of 2021. So that's basically July 1st all the way through September 30th. And then you can see a significant reduction in the volume of sales that we had over the next 2 years: 772 in Q3 of 2022, and then 659 just this past Q3 in 2023. So we see home prices remain stable, but the volume of sales is going down considerably, almost 40% in Bend, dating back to Q3 of 2021. So very telling information here. And you can see it's relatively consistent with Redmond as well. 462 total sales in a 3-month period of time in Q3 of 2021. And then we went down almost 50%, comparing that same period of time, Q3 of 2021 to Q3 of 2023. I hope I'm not confusing with some of these data points here, but it's very interesting to see the volume of sales going down, albeit the price points are still kind of teetering on all-time high levels or just below that. And so very interesting. Smaller market areas like Sisters, you can see here over a 3-month stretch, there's 93 sales in the peak of 2021, all the way down to 57. So almost another 50% drop for Sisters. And so you can do the math there, 3 months, 57 sales. I mean, we're talking less than 20 sales a month in the entire Sisters area. And that holds true for a couple of these other smaller market areas. Prineville, Madras, and Lapine are all highlighted here with this data that is pointing towards comparing 2021 to 2022 and 2023 respectively. If we continue looking on, we go to the next slide here, median sales price year over year for Q3 by area. You can see here, we just had 1,074 sales in Bend for the Q3 of 2021, but our median price was $650. So you can see the delayed reaction of home values going up over the course of time, $725 in Q3 of 2022, and then $759 just this year, Q3. And that's where we get those all-time highs. We've been teetering in that $750 range for about 6 months as it relates to Bend, but you can also look over to Redmond. You can see that $445,000 was the median price point during that crazy buy period of 2021, Q3. Of course, the summers when it's busy in general, but also the fact of the economic indicators that were going on back in 2021, everybody was shuffling back and forth from this town to that town, moving around, trying to figure out where they were going to go next based off of the current state of the economy and just the world events that were going on. Pretty crazy. But you can see here that median price was delayed as well for Redmond, and it held stable for basically the entire year. Sure, there's going to be dips along the way, but both Q3 of 2022 and Q3 of 2023 had basically an identical median home price or sales price in Redmond. And then Sisters, okay, much less volume, so much more fluctuation when it comes to median home price as it relates to the Q3 of 2021, 2022, and 2023. You can see just the ebb and flow there. You guys can see the actual charts here, so I don't need to explain everything, but it gives you guys a feel for what's really going on here in the Central Oregon area. We always look at the price. Everybody looks at median price per month, and then if you combine the quarters, you get to see like, okay, where the price is at. Okay, they're still relatively high. However, the volume of sales has gone down considerably. So that's very interesting and very telling. We'll be curious to see what happens in 2024 as we go into that election period. What's going to happen over the next 12 months. And then we get to the final slide for today's review of the current state of the market. This is going to be days on market year over year based off of Q3, okay, 21, 22, 23. You can see here that Bend has still been relatively low, okay, 26 days on market. And it was 26 days on market again for Q3 of 2022. So two years in a row, basically the same. And then we actually peaked up a little bit to 34 days on market during Q3 of 2023. Redmond had a buying frenzy back in 2021 Q3. And so 14 days is basically, you just put it on the market and a lot of these homes would go pending within a few hours or a couple days. And then those that were significantly higher than where they should be price point wise, those would stay on and they would bring up that median price point to 14 days, which is still relatively low. But you can see here, as the market has shifted, as interest rates have gone up, generally speaking, the theme is that the days on market is tapering up. And if you look over here to smaller markets like Madras and like Lapine and like Prineville, you can see significant days on market as it relates to where they were back in 2021. And so you've got small market areas where homes were getting picked up very quickly, 23 days, 22 days, 19 days back in the summer of 2021. And now things have adjusted. Smaller markets tend to be more affected, at least in the Central Oregon area, as it relates to interest rate spikes. And so that's going to slow down productivity and sales at a significant rate in the smaller markets of Central Oregon, but not so much necessarily with the two primary hubs of Central Oregon. So hopefully this gives you some context and some perspective on what's going on in the current state of the market. Yes, our median price for homes in Bend and Redmond still is relatively high. Interest rates remain pretty high, but the volume of sales has gone down significantly, and the median days on market for at least Bend, not so much Redmond, is starting to creep up a little bit. So we'll just see what happens over the next couple of months. This is that time of year where you're thinking about being in the market potentially, and you're potentially preparing to get into the market, whether you're selling or buying in early 2024. So use this data to your advantage here. As always, reach out to us with questions. If you're selling, we'd love to help you with that. If you're buying, we'd love to help you with that. Reach out to us with any questions or comments. You can leave those comments in the comment section below, or you can just set up a private meeting with us. We prefer the Calendly link that's in our banner or in the comment section of all of our videos, so we can have a private conversation about your current situation. We'd love to help you guys with that. But as always, thank you for watching our videos. Thank you for the support on this channel. We've grown. We're about a year old now, and so we are approaching 60,000 total views. We're so thankful for all the activity and all the support from all our viewers. So again, thank you. My name is Ryan. I'm a licensed broker with eXp Realty, as is Zach, my business partner. And we will plan on seeing you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.